Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Now, currently, the Lakers are, I think, on a 5-game road trip, which started off last night in Orlando. We've gotten to the point this season where now LeBron's Lakers beating the Orlando Magic is like, oh my God, we're trying to stay alive, because y'all know that there's been a lot of uncertainty surrounding this team, right? Some people have been speculating that their head coach may not survive this road trip because they have some tough opponents. They're going to be playing the Nets, I think the Sixers. They have some pretty tough teams that they're going to be playing against, and some people feel as if he's just not going to be able to make it out of this road trip. And if he ultimately does get fired, then I think it's just going to exacerbate the problems. The problems is going to cause more uncertainty with this team because now you've lost your head coach. They're probably going to tap David Fizdale over the shoulder for him to be the next head coach, but it's still going to you're still going to have the same issues because he did fill in for head coach Frank Vogel when Frank Vogel was out, I think, in COVID protocols, and things didn't go well in that particular scenario as well. So there's a lot of drama surrounding this team. And today I just woke up and I stumbled upon a report, an article from CBSSports.com, which basically said that the Lakers would potentially be open to trading for trading Russell Westbrook for John Wall. And to me, I think that is some pretty significant news, right? Because it shows to me, number one, that first of all, the Lakers are pretty much tired of Russell Westbrook. And I said it going into the season that I just didn't see how this entire thing would work. And it looks as if that is probably most likely not going to end up working out in the end, right? That Russell Westbrook wasn't the right guy for the job. So let me quickly get into this article and let's just quickly go over some of the things that it says. So the article starts off, Rockets open to Russell Westbrook for John Wall trade, but for a heavy price per report. It continues. The Los Angeles Lakers would love to do a do-over on the Russell Westbrook trade right about now. They are a disappointing 23 and 23 through 45 games, due in large in part to Russell Westbrook's disappointing season. And on Wednesday, he was benched for the final 3 minutes and 52 seconds in that loss to the Indiana Pacers. But there is one team that is open to acquiring Westbrook. Wall and Westbrook have identical contracts. Both are making roughly $44 million this season and have player options for roughly $47 million next season. Wall hasn't played at all for the Houston Rockets this season, so it's not as though Houston would be losing much in swapping him for Russell Westbrook. It would, in essence, boil down to trading one veteran that they aren't using for another, but that doesn't mean the Rockets are going to do the Lakers any favors. According to Stein, they are seeking a hefty price. The Lakers' 2020-27 first-round pick, that's the next available first-round pick the Lakers can trade it due to restrictions involving Stephen Rule and all the first-rounders they gave up in the Anthony Davis deal. No current player on the Lakers roster is under contract until 2027, meaning that pick could potentially be quite valuable. LeBron will turn 43 by 2027 and will presumably be out of the NBA. And the article goes on to discuss some more things. You guys can go read it on CBS Sports. That's why I got the article. We get a lot of content from them. Maybe we need to collaborate. Anyway, so that's what the article said. Now, first of all, a lot of Laker fans have been saying that they want Westbrook to be traded, although a lot of them were not saying that in the beginning of the season. How do I know this? Because we kept on running polls on our channel, right? And our polls on our channel get a lot of feedback. Thousands of people vote. And early in the season, when I was running these polls, it was like 60-40, 55-45. But now, if you put up a poll on our channel and ask, do the Lakers get rid of Russell Westbrook, just leave it up for about 2 hours and see what people say. People are going to be like, please, where can I help him? What airport is he going to? Like, can I help him pack his bags? Please, does he need a driver to the airport? I'll help him get to the airport. Laker fans seem to be pretty much over this Russell Westbrook. Now, I think this trade could potentially make some sense. First of all, let's talk about whether or not this is a basketball fit. It seems as if that was something that those boys didn't do when they first decided to make that. Nobody was talking basketball, right? They were just talking about names and names on the back of jerseys. But anyway, let's talk about a basketball fit, a potential basketball fit. Does there exist a potential? Is there, does that work here? Well, let's look at John Wall's stats quickly. Let's take a glance at his numbers for his career summary. Over his career, John Wall is a 19 points per game scorer. He gets you about 4.3 rebounds, 9.1 assists. He averages about he shoots about 43% from the field for his career, 32.3% from the three-point line. So John Wall pretty much is, that's pretty much who he is. Now, here's a few things worth taking into consideration. John Wall, as we all know, is one of the quickest players in the NBA. When he's healthy, he's extremely fast. And he can score. He can score with the best of them when he's healthy and he's doing his thing. However, there's some parts that we need to look at. One of those parts is turnovers. John Wall does turn the ball over quite a bit. For his career, he averages about 3.8 turnovers. And if you look at Russell Westbrook, that's been one of the sour points for Russell Westbrook. He also turns the ball over. But this season, he's averaging over 4 turnovers a game. And that's something he's done since the 2014-2015 NBA season. So both of these point guards are a bit turnover prone, although Russell Westbrook has a lot of head scratching turnovers that just make you think, okay, my God, what is going on? What is going on here? Another thing is he isn't really a great shooter, right? If we're looking at his overall field goal percentage, Russell Westbrook shoots a bit higher, but John Wall shoots slightly better from the three-point line, about 3 percentage points higher than Russell Westbrook, who's a 30% career average three-point shooter. So from that standpoint, you will be getting a little bit more spacing if you were able to acquire John Wall. Although he doesn't average the same amount of assists, I think John Wall is the better decision maker. He does have turnovers, but I think he's a better decision maker. Russell Westbrook just has some of these head-scratching turnovers where you're like, what is going on? Where is this guy right now? Is he on the same court with us? I don't really understand what's happening. So those are some of the kind of basketball, if we're looking at how it works on the basketball court, so those are some of the things we can look at. Now, here's some of the drawbacks. He doesn't really add spacing, and that's an issue that the Lakers are having, especially in their starting lineup. Spacing is a bit of an issue, right? Because LeBron is not the greatest of shooters. Anthony Davis is not going to be your long-range sniper on the floor, and we all know LeBron is quite successful when he's playing with veterans and players that can stretch the floor, gives him a lot of spacing so he can attack the basket. LeBron is not a reliable three-point shooter, although he's better than Russell Westbrook and John Wall. So that's the first thing. The second thing is he is injury-prone. Right, John Wall is just one of these guys, unfortunately, that's just been having some difficulties playing games. For instance, the last time, he didn't even play in 2019-2020, 2020-2021 season. He only played 40 games, and then he played 32 games the year before. I mean, he just hasn't been healthy, right? So if you were to acquire him, essentially what you would be doing is you would now have 2 stars on your roster that are injury prone. And now we're talking about Anthony Davis and John Wall. And remember, LeBron is getting older, so eventually he will fade out and he will retire. So when he does retire, you're left with 2 stars on your roster that have injury issues that could most likely not be there most of the time, or half of the time at least. So that's something worth paying attention to. And if we're looking at it from that standpoint, then Russell Westbrook is probably a better fit, or you're better off with Russell Westbrook because he's always available, right? I think this guy, if we're looking at him right now, we're looking at the games that he's played this season. I think the Lakers have played 46 games, and I think he's played 46 games. So it seems as if he's played pretty much every single game. So he's been pretty durable for the team this season. However, Westbrook does have more playoff experience than John Wall. Russell Westbrook has been to an NBA Finals before. He hasn't been very successful in the playoffs, but he does have more playoff success for whatever that's worth. So here are my closing thoughts. I think if the Lakers were to pull off this trade, I think the effect would be marginal, and I think it would pretty much show their desperation, right? If we're at the point where they're looking to make a move for John Wall, but before the trade deadline, it pretty much tells you that this team is in all-out panic mode. And the next question to ask is, okay, even if they do trade for John Wall, what if they still find themselves in the same situation? What's going to happen? You're also going to fire the coach. So you're telling me potentially what we could see is that the coach gets fired and they traded away Russell Westbrook. All of this happened in one season. And ultimately, the final question you should be asking yourself is this: even if we're able to make this swap, will John Wall be able to bolster our defense? And that's an important question because the Lakers are, I think, ranked number 17 or number 18 defensively, and that puts them in the middle of the pack for the entire season. And that's a question you have to ask yourself, because John Wall has only made one defensive team, and that was in 2015, right? That was an all-second defensive team. So these are the things that you have to consider. And I think at this particular point, it's clear to see that the Lakers are running out of time and options. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this report and what I had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, Be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.